just take you through a couple fun new things that we will be seeing on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2 in regards to the sewing screen. So when you turn on the machine for the first time, go ahead and touch sewing. Now you'll be taken to a straight stitch, but I'll show you how you can get to your menus, couple things that you want to do the first time you get it out of the box and at home. First thing is, if you do have a Wi-Fi connection at home, let's go over to your Wi-Fi option right at the top and click on it and connect with your home password to your Wi-Fi hub. Now, if you haven't already, go to mysewnet.com and register your machine and set up a MySewnet account. This is totally free, and there is tons of things that are on that website. If there's updates, once you have your Wi-Fi connected, they will update when those updates are available. So just like your phone, it's fabulous. And then you don't have to run to the store and have your store do it for you. Unless you don't have Wi-Fi capabilities at home, then that would be a great option. I'm going to show you a couple of the newest features on this machine. But just so you know, you do have a variety of new icons that might look a little different if you're not familiar with the Pfaff machines, or if you've had an icon 1 or original icon, you'll see some of the symbols have changed. There are all the stitches from the icon 1 in here, plus all the new ones. So you'll definitely want to take some time to stitch out some of these decorative stitches, work through the menus. That's one thing we talk about, is making a stitch book and stitching these out and creating just so you get familiar with where all the menus are. Now, these menus are long, so as you touch and drag, you'll be able to move that around. Speaking of moving things around, these corners you can kind of adjust and kind of slide it over here. Or if you want it more on the top of your screen, you can kind of move those and adjust based on what you like. Just touch and drag wherever you'd like them to be. Now, if you want to do setting adjustments for the stitch, like needle position or stitch width or length, you'll find that down at the bottom. Along here is a whole bunch of things you want to explore. Touch Edit Stitch, and this will open up a lower menu area where you can adjust width and you can adjust length. Everything you see on screen is actual size, which I absolutely love. And then just wait till I show you the projection option, where it will project onto your fabric what this stitch looks like. So if you've made it longer or wider, you will see that new size projected on your fabric so you can see if it fits or not. So something that I've totally love, wish I had this sooner, but we'll take it on this machine now. We also have at any given time some recommendations for the stitch. So right now it tells me what foot I should be using, if I should be using stabilizer, what stitch number I'm working on, and something brand new where it will actually visualize which foot I have on the machine. Because of the new kind of camera system, it can recognize if I have a foot on or I don't have a foot on. Do I have the right foot on? That type of thing. So this little information area is a great place to kind of just touch base and peek at before you start stitching. If you want some of this information to disappear, touch anything that's orange that's been highlighted and it will lower itself away. So I love a nice clean screen when I'm stitching, and I can even touch this orange zigzag stitch that would even clear off that side and leave me with just the beautiful stitch that I'm working on. You'll have more options over here. Just go ahead and touch through them. And if any given time you're like, what in the world is that? The question mark at the top will allow you to touch the question mark and then touch something on screen, and it will identify what it's called. So then you can find more information on it, such as the tapering menu we're in. We have a place that we can store stitches and look up anything that you have on the MySewnet cloud, which means like maximum storage for embroidery designs or designs you've created and saved. Speaking of designs that we create, you can actually create your own stitches. Called the Stitch Creator is the place where I love to make my own stitches. So if you've ever seen stitches on other people's machines, other brands, your friends' machine, don't be envious. Recreate them right here on screen with the capabilities of adding stitches. You can also edit stitches that are already in here and make them more customized for the way you'll be using them. So you can actually bring in a stitch and then see it on screen. You can delete stitches, you can select all stitches, and you can actually edit these stitches doing different things. My favorite thing to do is to 3X it or make it triple stitched. I like my stitches nice and bold, so any stitch that is not that way already, you can bold it up and then go ahead and touch OK, and that stitch is now going to be 3 times heavier than what it was originally saved at. Speaking of saving, you can save any of the stitches that you create. So across the top, a couple other fun things. You can do lots of things in the settings part of this machine. Customize it for the way you stitch, the way you embroider. If you're wondering about other features and functions, everything's at the top. You can just slide across and then slide down. If I'm using a twin needle, I'll go in here. If I'm using a ruler foot, I can go and tell the machine which of the hopping feet I am using so it can do the right settings for you. So there is tons of information. Touch OK when you go ahead and get out of it. And then there's the tutorials. There's places where you can find over 100 video tutorials, techniques and tutorials that you can start watching immediately. And as soon as we get Alexa all hooked up, which she is, hi Alexa, she will also be able to find these tutorials for you. So if you have that feature in your home, you might enjoy using that. We are ready. I was just updating the machine. It says the latest firmware is downloaded. Do you want to install it now? Now, I have 2 choices. Yes, I can install it, or no, install it on my next power on, which is what I'm going to push right now. We'll finish up this video and then I'll continue, because once the new information is here, I'm actually going to have more things to even show you. So I want to do that sooner than later. You also have your entire manual here on screen, so you can go in and find anything you want to look up, accessory guide, needle guide, stabilizer guide. You can find everything you need to just by searching by a topic, or you could just start at the beginning and look at categories. This machine is everything you want right at your fingertips. But when you want to go back to sewing, you can always touch right back at the top, touch sewing, and do you want to clear your ongoing work? Yes, and it takes us back to the straight stitch. So we have so many great intuitive areas. We're going to get into more of these as we go forward, so make sure you check out all those links below where you will find the entire playlist of all the free video tutorials that we're doing on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2.